Example, we're going to show how to query a database in Neo4j. So this is the application Neo4j, and we are using a sample database called movies, which has two tables of data, movie and person. In Neo4j, tables are referred to as nodes, and nodes are connected to each other through relationships. In this demonstration, we show some cipher queries which can be used to query a database in Neo4j. For example, if we wanted to find all movies released after the year 2000, we can run a query which looks like this. And we are returned with nodes, which are instances of the main node person, showing us all movies which were released after the year 2000. And in the sidebar here, we can see that when we hover over a single instance, we can even get further information about that instance of data. We can obtain a count of all movies released in or after 2005 using a query that looks like this. And we can see that in the database there were 8 movies which were released in or after 2005. We can even link information from multiple nodes together using a query looking like this, which finds all person entities related to movie entities using the relationship directed. In other words, we're finding all people who directed a movie after the year 2005. And we can see that, for instance, Tom Tykwer is related to the movie Cloud Atlas using the relationship directed. But also, Cloud Atlas is related to the person instances of Lana Wachowski and Andy Wachowski using the relationships directed and directed. The same is true for other kinds of person and movie instances, which are helpfully shown to us in different colors. So pink nodes are movies and orange nodes are people. And we can see that this little web of information, these nodes are interconnected, whereas these ones are not. Well, they're standalone in a way. We can do specific query matching using query that looks like this. So here we're looking for all instances of person and getting their name and the year that they were born. And we see that there is a table which gives us this information. We can even create a person, a new instance in person using this query. And we see that now we have created a new instance of person called Jane Doe. We can even find specific instances. So in this case, we're going to find a specific instance. We're going to look for all matches in the database where the movie title is called Cloud Atlas. And we see that there is one match for that query, which is indeed Cloud Atlas. We can find all movies between a certain range of years, so between 2000 and 2005 inclusive. We find that there are 7 nodes which match these conditions. We can even do some more complex things in Neo4j using the cipher language. For instance, here we're looking for a person called Jane Doe. If Jane Doe does not exist, then we're going to create an instance of Jane Doe and then set this variable to the current timestamp. If Jane Doe already exists, then we're going to set this variable to the current timestamp. See what we get. We do indeed have Jane Doe, and we can now see that there is a new variable in the side panel called last logged in at, which has recorded the current timestamp. We can even obtain all relationships which match a query. For example, now we want to find all people who acted in movies. So, in other words, we're looking for all instances of person and movie which are related to each other using the relationship acted in. And if we zoom out, we can see that this is a very complex web of information, but Neo4j is doing a great job of showing us visually how these nodes of information are different from each other and how they're related to each other using the relationship. Another interesting fact is that if we hover our mouse over the relationship, we can see that it defines a role. We can similarly find all directors of a certain movie. So in this case, we're looking for all directors who directed the movie Cloud Atlas. We see that there are 3 of them: Tom Twyker, Lana Wachowski, and Andy Wachowski. Now we're going to obtain all person relations related to the movie title Cloud Atlas. So now we're not restricting our relationship, we're just looking for all relations to Cloud Atlas. And here we obtain a table. So we see that there are some people who have directed Cloud Atlas and there are some people who have acted in Cloud Atlas. Now, Neo4j or graph databases are also very helpful in terms of finding analytical information. For example, this query finds all third-degree connections to the actor Tom Hanks. So now we can find all relations in this database which are related to the entity Tom Hanks up to the 3rd degree. So this is just a demonstration that shows that Neo4j and its querying language Cypher are very useful in terms of extracting and depicting information in terms of graph theory.